Okay, YouTube. This is a different kind of video than my normal videos. I don't have the TV background. I have a. This. I decided since I'm not reacting to anything, I kind of want to have a different background. Maybe catch the sunrise. And I'm doing the reply to a comment on one of my videos that I posted yesterday. And fair warning, this video today is kind of boring because I'm just replying to a specific comment, and I didn't feel like writing the whole paragraph to the reply because they wrote like a couple paragraphs, and I don't know if I'm gonna reply to the whole thing because it's a lot, but I'm gonna try to give my general response. Okay, so I made a video yesterday reacting slash criticizing a YouTuber named Asmongold because he made some comments about Palestinians, calling them inferior, saying they have an inferior culture. And basically, I said that that type of talk has been used throughout history to discriminate against different kinds of groups. You know, when you dehumanize a group, it's easy to commit genocide. This is how it was done against the Native Americans, or against black people during the slavery era, or during Nazi Germany, of Jewish and Gypsies and all those people that were murdered. It's dehumanizing people just makes it easier to justify the atrocities. And right now, it's with people in Gaza. You know that they're, I guess, Asmongold, he was dehumanizing them by calling them inferior and saying that, well, you know, if they get genocided, I don't care. You know, they're inferior. And I was saying that this is the kind of talk that I hear nowadays with immigrants, and especially coming from the Republican Party, primarily Trump, the Republican, nominee, who calls them, who says they have bad genetics, they have criminal genetics, it's in their DNA. He has said this multiple times. He also has said, that they're criminals, they're murderers, and this and that, and constantly, generalizing that immigrants are just bad people, they gotta go. And even the people who are here legally, legal immigrants, they gotta go too. They're eating our cats and dogs. They're uncivilized, they gotta go. And I'm speaking about the Haitians. They came here legally, and he still wants them out of here. So even legal immigrants gotta go. It's extremely xenophobic. And I say that the Republican Party is xenophobic and the Republican Party is racist. Now, does this mean every Republican is xenophobic or every Republican is racist? No. But generally speaking, and I'm just speaking in general terms, the majority of the party is, because their nominee, this is how he talks, So let me reply to these comments. You're talking about generalization of races and cultures and how the government doesn't define whole groups. Yes, I would say that the government, generally speaking, does not define the people, because the government is the government and the people are the people. Now, sometimes they're pretty much the same, but I would say generally speaking, no. All right. But it feels like you're using the far right to define all white people. Now, I'm not using the far right to define all white people. I'm using the far right, the far right to define the far right. And who makes up the far right is generally white. Who makes up the Republican Party? It's generally all white. All white people. The Republican Party is mainly white. Look at the demographics. So I'm just speaking generally, are there black Republicans, brown Republicans? Yeah. But generally speaking, it's a white party, Let me see what else here. As you say, deep down, they are all racist. if I don't know if I said that because he put it in quotations, but when I say they, I'm talking about the Republican Party and the people who are xenophobic. These people who are xenophobic, I believe that they are racist because that fuels their xenophobia. It's their racism, and this is how they really feel. Absolutely, I say this with people who are xenophobic. You are generalizing. No, all white people now. Nope. I'm not. I never said all white people. I specifically look at my videos. I specifically talk about the Republican Party and people in the right wing. I never said all white people are racist. No. In my videos, I'm talking about a very specific group, and I'm making this clear right here, right now, just to clear up any confusion. Find me a video that if you want to bring evidence, find a video that I say all white people are racist or this and that, because I've never said that. Brown people can be racist too. Agreed. I've never said also that anybody else can be racist. Racism comes out, anybody can be racist. I've never said only white people can be racist. A Latin or any race, culture, to be honest, can move more freely through America than a white person can move through Latin America. I don't know that to be true or not. And also, a Latin or any race culture, to be honest, I don't know what this person is talking about. I think they might be saying that a white person might struggle to move through Latin America, but I don't know if this person understands that Latin is not a skin color; it's a culture. You could be white and Latino. You could be black and Latino. It's not considered a race. All right, talking about opportunity, freedom, safety, discrimination, etc. And also, my main content is I'm talking about stuff happening for the most part here in the United States. And if I do talk about other countries like Gaza or Afghanistan, I talk about those countries because the United States has their 2 cents in there. If other nations are doing something else, I generally don't care. I'm somewhat of a libertarian in that aspect that I mind my business. What's going on over there, man, sucks. But I'm trying to take care of what's right here, right now, and I do mind my business. I mean, I do give my 2 cents in stuff like the Israel-Palestine conflict or war, because American tax dollars are fueling that war, and I'm against paying taxes already, and then I got to pay more taxes because all this money going over there, and so damn right I'm gonna talk about stuff like that. So let me see. So this person, I guess they might be upset that I'm not talking about Latin America or stuff going down there, about discrimination. I see these white guys going around Latin America and can barely move around some places without being treated like an alien and being discriminated, etc. So it happens everywhere, man. Agreed. I never said there's discrimination in other nations. I never said America's the only place that there's discrimination. Again, let me stop right here before I keep reading this person's comment. If I said I like to drink Coca-Cola, I'm not saying I hate Pepsi, I hate Dr. Pepper, I hate Big Red. Just because I'm talking about, hey, I drink Coca-Cola, doesn't mean anything else. It just means I drink Coca-Cola. I like Coca-Cola, but I also like Pepsi. I also like you don't add something that I never said or presume something. I mean, people like to presume that if you just because you didn't say it or don't talk about it, they like to presume things about you. Like I'll give you another example. When Hillary and Trump were running against each other, people ask me, did you vote for Trump? I'm like, no, I didn't vote for Trump. Oh man, I can't believe you voted for Hillary. I can't believe you voted for Hillary. Man, I can't believe that. I'm like, I didn't vote for Hillary. Like, but you didn't vote for Trump, so you must have voted for Hillary. I'm like, no, I didn't vote for either of those. You know, they presume just because I didn't vote for one that I must have voted for the other. And then I tell them, no, I didn't vote for Hillary. It's like, oh, so you didn't vote, man. I can't believe you did not vote. I'm like, what? No, you're wrong again. Quit trying to say that. Quit trying to think that, that they're adding more to my story. I'm like, no, I voted for Gary Johnson. I always vote libertarian, but people already just assume, oh, are you voting for Trump or are you voting for the Republican or Democrat? And if I say, no, I'm not voting for this person, they automatically assume I'm voting for the other. It's with this person, brown people can be racist too. I'm like, yeah, I know this. Just because I don't talk about it doesn't mean that I'm not uneducated, that racism exists in all places. And that just because I haven't talked about racism of other people's skin color doesn't mean that I'm not going to talk about it in the future. I just started making pretty much YouTube videos since I quit my job in late August. And I'm pumping out videos of different topics. If I talk about it later on, I'll talk about it whenever I feel like it, But whenever I feel like it's convenient and I got something a video that I could also play in the background for that's relevant for, to get the clicks. Because I talking about, something that happened like a long time ago, playing an old video, I'm kind of just wasting my time. I've made over almost 300 videos. I'm getting close to 300 videos, and unless it's a really, really recent topic, which I'm trying to talk about more recent topics, they don't get the clicks. Now I was going to talk about a black person being racist a week ago, of a black person being a black business owner being racist towards a person, an immigrant who did not speak or had trouble speaking English. But I took a day off and then I forgot about the whole video. And then after a while I was like, oh, this video is I don't think it's gonna get the clicks. And so I didn't feel like wasting my time. I don't know. I might do it or not. It's like I said, I'll do what I feel like it that day. Here's another thing. I talk about male rights. Just because I am pro male rights does not mean that I'm anti women rights. I'm pro women rights too, but I want to focus more on male rights because I'm a man, and also I think that this is a topic that people aren't talking about. So I'm gonna talk about it on my channel because this is my channel, and I can prioritize what I think needs to be prioritized, And in my channel, if I want to focus more on male rights, that's what I'm gonna focus on. It does not mean that I'm anti-women or I will not cover women rights. If I want to cover female rights, I'll do it at my convenience, But it's not really my priority, And I'm not saying that just because I'm pro male rights does not mean I'm anti women rights. But people like to presume that if you're for this, you're against that, I'm like, you don't know who I am. If you could always just ask me. I'll tell you straight up. Like, hey man, what do you think about this? I'll tell you. I'm pretty open with everything, but people just like to presume that they know me, and for the most part, nobody knows me, man. You don't know what goes on in my head. You don't know what I experience. You don't know how educated I am. You don't know my whole upbringing, my background. I lived a long life. All right. America is still many times more safe, free, accepting than Latin America, the Middle East, than some places in Asia and Europe, which is part of the reason people want to migrate here. Just think that should be highlighted. I mean, if you think that, I mean, all right, I've never said that that I don't know what this person's saying. Like, just because I talk bad about certain things in America, it's not that I hate America. It's I want stuff to be better. Because I live here. Just because I criticize the government does not mean that I want the government gone. I criticize the government. I criticize the stuff here in America. I criticize the racism, all these problems I see, because I want the place where I live to currently reside to be better. Don't get it twisted. Don't think that I want this nation destroyed or anything like that. Again, and my main priority is American government, American politics, because this is where I live. If I lived in freaking Israel, every day I would talk about what's going on over there. But I don't. So this is what I talk about. And if you want to talk about that stuff, man, start your own YouTube channel and make your own videos about this. All right. Not perfect and okay, he says not perfect and hope we can do better, but definitely doing much better than many countries. Asman doesn't speak for white people. I never said he speaks for white people. Generally speaking, I said most people just speak for themselves. Unless you're the leader of a group like Trump, he's the leader of the Republican Party for the most part. So he speaks for the Republican Party. Kamala Harris, she's speaking for the Democrat Party. But generally speaking, every person just represents themselves. I don't represent all men. I don't represent all humans. I don't represent all Texans. Brown people. I represent myself. I have no organization or anything, and Republicans don't speak for white people. No, but Republicans do speak for the Republican Party. So, and that's who I'll criticize. I'm criticizing the Republican Party. Asman goes on tangents without elaborating clearly. Also, me, I go on tangents, man. I do everything. If you don't notice, all my videos are all in one take. Unscripted. I have no script. And so sometimes I do make some mistakes. But generally speaking, I get you kind of should get my point. Sounds like he's referring to Sharia law and terrorism mainly, not Muslims or brown people. But actually, if you actually do look back, he was referring to Muslims, because he is. It looks like he's an atheist and he hates or dislikes religions, and so he was kind of talking about Muslims. It wasn't just specifically Sharia law. So you're wrong on that one. But regardless, Asman does not speak for Americans or white people, neither does Trump or the Republican Party. Okay, wrong. I gotta disagree. Okay, again, Asman does not speak for Americans. No, he speaks for himself. But Trump does speak for the Republican Party. He is the Republican nominee. He speaks for the Republican Party. That is who the Republican Party wanted. He speaks for that party. And the Republican Party, what do they want? What is the Republican Party preaching? They preach xenophobia. They preach build the wall. That is the main thing that the Republican right now party is known for. They're highly xenophobic. Get these Haitians out of here. Get these legal immigrations out of here. No pathway to citizenship. We don't get the dreamers out of here. They want to stop illegal immigration, and they want to even legal immigration. Get people who are here legally. They still want them out. So again, you're wrong. But I never did say that Trump speaks for all white people. I've never said that, and I never said Republicans speak for all white people. But I will say that The Republican Party is mainly white, you know. The only reason the anti-immigration extremism seems like it has any tangibility is because most people realize we have to secure the border because criminals and terrorists can take advantage of the border, as drug trafficking already correlates to many deaths from fentanyl or other drugs, and the human trafficking and extortion which open border supports the abuse of immigrants south of the border. Okay, now this whole secure the border. Is this, how come we don't secure the Canadian border, you know? There's no build a wall up there, you know, How come, like, this person's talking about all nations have a secure border. Have you traveled between Germany and France? I've driven between those two countries. There was no checkpoint, there was no wall. I was in Germany driving, and then I'm in France. Almost like I'm driving from Texas to Louisiana, or from Texas driving throughout these states, you know. You can still have a nation and not have this, hey, we have to have it like the DMZ, like North and South Korea. No, man, if you travel throughout the world, you will see that most nations, they don't have to have this freaking barrier, you know. You could work with your neighbors, you know, and we could have open borders. And when you talk about criminals moving drugs, this and that, let's talk about terrorists. The terrorists that committed the acts of 9/11, they came here legally. They didn't cross the border, you know. If somebody wants to do something, they'll find a way to do it even legally. Including moving drugs, you know, and not this person wants to talk about drugs and fentanyl and all this. Even with a secure border, like that stuff's not gonna move around. If drug dealers want to move drugs, they're gonna move drugs because the price of demand that's $1 billion racket. That's why I'm libertarian. I'm like, hey man, if people want to do drugs, let them do it. It's their body, their choice. Know the risk that comes with it. But nations do have open borders all over the world. This is not a crazy concept. And like I said, the Canadian-American border, pretty much wide open. But no, you got to focus on the one down south because of all because we have all those brown people trying to get in. But again, like I said, what's wrong with people moving to wherever they want? You know, it's now that there's fear that people could come here and commit crimes, and I'm of the idea that everybody's innocent, you know, for the most part, until proven guilty. And you can't just assume that if we let people in, that they'll commit crimes. You know, some people will, some people won't. After somebody commits a crime, that's when you arrest them. You know, although you hope that most people don't commit crimes, but people, you know, humans all over the world that they commit crimes, and even in, you know, legal citizens. It's the way humans are. But generally speaking, I would say the majority of people are not criminals. The majority of people are not murderers, thieves, etc. The majority of people are just want to, you know, have a family, live a good life. How about we focus on the majority instead of that small amount of people who do, you know, these atrocities. And again, those people who do those crimes, no. You know, having a wall, you know, that's not really gonna, that might stop some of them, but they're gonna come in, you know. So should we punish the majority for these people? I don't think so. So let me see. So the extremism seems amplified. Let me see. We need a border. Okay. Every country in the world has a secure border. Nope. No, that's a lie. Not every country has a secure border. Wrong. And vets their immigrants to much higher levels than America does. All right, look. I don't give a damn what other countries do. I don't live over there. I don't give a damn what America does. I hate that argument. Well, over there in this nation, hey, are we gonna make our laws from what every other nation what they do? No. Hey, in this nation, they have a dictator. Let's get a dictator. You know, that's a stupid argument. Wanting a secure border doesn't mean you're anti-immigrant or racist. Now, now, wanting a secure border doesn't mean you're racist, but the reason you want a secure border is because of racism. Like specifically with the Republican Party in Donald Trump. If you just going off his rhetoric, the hatred of these people is the reason why they want that secure border. You know. So again, I'm not playing these games. All right, fentanyl, and keeps talking about fentanyl killing people. You know, more times than 9/11 over. Keep talking about fentanyl. I'm just skimming through their comment. Anyone in their right mind, regardless of their culture or skin color, knows that a secure border and slowdown will stop the flow of these drugs and fentanyl. Oh my God, I don't really care about fentanyl, honestly. My thing is this, man. If people want to do very dangerous drugs, that's on them, man. It's their choice, you know. And some people know that it has fentanyl and they still do it. Hey, that's them. To me, that's pretty much irrelevant to this whole immigration thing. And I do want to say that even pre-fentanyl, like before fentanyl was a thing, these people still did not want immigrants here. The Republican Party did not want immigrants here. They still want a secure border. You know, are you telling me if fentanyl was gone, that the Republican Party will be like, oh, you know what? We don't need that border, that secure border anymore. We're good. Nah, that ain't happening. Don't try to use fentanyl as the excuse that's why we need a secure border because of fentanyl. Because if fentanyl was gone, they still want it. With the ramping up of the axis of evil the axis of evil, man, I haven't heard of that since the Bush era. Who was the axis of evil? That was they said Iran or North Korea in Iraq. I forget who they defined as who the government defined as the axis of evil. And our adversaries trying to harm us. With the ramping up of terrorist groups who can take advantage of the situation we have to secure the border and get grabs of the issues so we can focus on bigger issues. Yeah, like the terrorists who came here legally, homegrown terrorists, you know, but somehow the border doesn't really affect homegrown terrorists or people who came here legally, you know. So, like I said, man, it's a non-issue. Yeah, Trump talks like trash, and I don't like it or support it. Unless you vote for him or are pro, you know, or with the Republican Party. We still gotta secure that border to have a country. Not all Latin people are bad. That's not exactly the point. I would say the majority of people are not bad, but yet we focus on that bad amount. We focus on that small amount of people who are criminals and blow it up, you know. And then we gotta be like, hey, we gotta take them all out. We gotta get those kids out of here. Those whole families, they gotta go. Hey, but I thought you were only focused on the criminals. Nope, everybody gotta go. Let's be real. when they deport, do they just deport the bad people, or do they want everybody out? Do the Republican Party, when they want people out, is it just the criminals? No. Like I said before, so many times, legal immigrants, they still want them out of here. They still, these legal residents, they still do not want them here. So don't say, oh, we're just trying to secure this border, because that's not true. Criminals and terrorists and our adversaries are already taking advantage of the issue. That's the point. All right, let me see what else. And they wrote another reply. They say Latinos experience the same level of racism from other Latinos as they do other races. So I think the issue is bigger than we got to talk about all the facts and all sides of the table. Okay. This person, Lord Zor. Now, again, on my video, on my channel, I will talk about stuff. I'm not talking about Latin America unless it's kind of relevant, towards something that's going on, or because America is getting involved. My main goal is on this channel is to talk about stuff that's relevant to me. Again, if you read what I call my channel, on my channel, let me see if I can go to it. It says this channel is about male rights, freedom, and politically incorrect. That's what this channel is about. Because when I talk about male rights, nobody else is really talking about rights of men, and that's why I kind of focus on this. I also talk about immigrant rights because it's not something that other people don't talk about it. I talk about things that other people are not talking about, and to tell me, well, you also got to talk about this and that and this. I'm like, no, I don't. If I want to, yeah. But don't ever think that I'm not educated or assume that you know my position when you don't. Don't assume that because I'm criticizing the United States that, oh, you don't know what's going on over here in El Salvador or in Mexico and this and that. I'm like, hey, look, man, again, you don't know what I know, and my focus is the United States. My focus is not other nations. I don't live in other places. I live here. So this is what I'm trying to fix. I'm trying to fix my hometown or my homeland, for the time being, and I'm also trying to make people aware of the issues that that are here in this nation where I reside. So that's pretty much it. Again. This will probably fall on deaf ears for the most part. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts, and yeah, I don't know what else to say.